Brad Williams, Frugal Finance, as a continuation from the previous session. I said there's going to be a prepayment penalty here, getting a desired yield by adding fees. We have an example here. We have an 8% mortgage, 30-year loan, 14% yield is what this lender is shooting for. How do they go about changing, manipulating, what have you, in order to get a yield in the event that the loan is prepaid, or they include loan origination fees, and all of that adds up to this bottom line of an increased yield. So you can read this if you need it, but I'm just going to go through. This is a snapshot of our previous example. We're looking at a $60,000 loan. We've got an original term in months, 360, early payoff in months. That means within 5 years, you're going to pay a prepayment penalty. The mortgage, we have a $617 monthly payment. The payoff, if the borrower either refinances or sells their property. Got a loan origination fee similar to the previous example, $3,000. Prepayment due at month 60. This is simply this prepayment right here, $58.65.17. The new payoff at month 60 with prepayment penalty, $61,588. All we're doing is adding this $29.33 to this $58,615. $617, I already talked about how we do that. Just look over here to this formula. Look in here. You're going to see it's just the payment. We're following the exact mirror. The only change here now, remember we use $58,655.13 as the future value. Here we're just going to use $61,588 in order to determine this bottom line yield here. We have a monthly payment, which is that $586.31. If it was $58,200, remember, $60,000 minus $3,000 is going to be $586.31 in terms of monthly payment. So we're going to look at present value, future value using $586.31 and whatever this new payment. APR using a higher monthly payment and true loan amount. We got a rate, so we use the 617, 57,000. Where's the 57,000? That $3,000, 60,000. I may have said something different here. That $3,000, 60,000 minus the 3. There's the true loan amount, which is the 1270 yield. That's excluding fees. Then, what is the payoff after 5 years? Number represents years remaining to pay off. 61588. This is just an equal sign. All I did was equal. The original loan amount, there's some duplication here. We're taking this 60, 5 years, 617,616 is right here, your monthly payment. We're going to have this 57,000. That's our present value. Then we're going to have the 61587, which is the prepayment penalty. And we're just going to multiply that times 12. I put an if error in there. I just get in the habit of doing that. You're going to see here that in order to compensate the lender for their servicing and all the administrative side, they're going to say, look, you prepaid this loan early. We're going to end up yielding $14.11. Pretty straightforward, kind of ugly scenario. This is an old school method. I would never, ever take a loan with a prepayment penalty, period. Never, 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 never. Why? Well, because it just saddles you with a huge cost. Just be cognizant. If you are from the borrower side, keep that in mind. Do the computation. What if the rate is just a little bit higher? What's the overall yield? In other words, they have this 12%. Well, in this day and age, it's 2024. You're looking at mortgages at around 7.5%. Well, what if there's a bit of a premium to avoid this cost? Just do the computation, and we'll get into an example showing that. You'll determine whether a prepayment penalty makes any sense, and then the unpredictability. What is probability of you moving within 5 years? And here, I'll just give you a little anecdotal information. When I bought my house long ago, the intent was to move within 2 to 3 years. Well, here I am 37 years later. I'm in the same house. Okay. So again, you just never know. You never know what the scenario is. If this 5-year term is set in stone, then do the computation, but perhaps you'll find a house and you'll never move. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Thanks for watching.